All right, guys, we are live, and boy, it looks a little dark today in my room here. It's because it's dark outside. It's another rainy day here at my house, and I'm not liking it too much, but I'm teaching a class this afternoon, so I'll be inside anyway. Today's Wing It Wednesday, and I am I totally came up with this right before coming on live this morning. So I've always wanted to find a different way to use the very popular mini writing tablets. These are from the Dollar Tree, and I know a lot of craft fair vendors use these. So I came up with a different way. And this is kind of based on Lyric Lover's new video where she used some larger writing tablets, but I'm using these here and I'm making it just a little bit different. That's all. So I don't know what else I can say. I did get another use out of the Everyday Arches stamp set and bundle because I'll be using one of the arches from the bundle here. I think it's like let's see. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4. This might be number 5 from the middle or the smallest going largest. So it might be the 5th or the 4th largest one. It fits on the stamp that says "You are a ray of sunshine." So I'm going to be using that one as well. Just a little bit of stamping today. We've got our angel policy stamp along with that little sentiment there. The ink color I'm going to be using and cardstock is Shaded Spruce. And I do have all of the dimensions here just for me to let you know the correct sizes that I came up with. These can be tweaked to whatever you want because we're going to wrap around the cardstock. So let's see, what else do I have to say? Don't forget about my ordering special that is live, and I've already sent out a few of them. Thank you notes and the class as well. So whenever you place an order, it's a $50 order or more, I will get that kit out to you ASAP. Since we're not using host codes anymore, I feel like I can get those out quicker rather than waiting until the end of the month to do that. Just looking around my craft room to see what else. Oh yes, recipe books are being shipped today. So I do have a few extra kits ready to go on that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go back in my live. I think I did a live. I don't think it's a pre-recorded video, but I showcased a recipe book that I made. So extra kits are ready to go, and I can ship those out tomorrow, not today, just because I've got to get ready for my class that I have to leave here in about an hour. So let's get started. So if you have any questions on this, I will try to look. And it's dark and raining in Delaware too. I have the whole East Coast. It's like a nor'easter apparently, but rain. Usually a nor'easter gives us snow, but they're saying it's a nor'easter with rain this time. All right. So again, I wanted to find a way to use up my mini writing tablets a different way. I've made them several ways, sometimes with a pen holder, but this is the first time I've made it this way. I knew I needed small pieces of designer paper, so I went to my bookcase there and I found the 6x6 paper, and this is called Full of Life. Let me see, here it is. There's a lot of different cardstock colors. I'm not going to go through them all just because there's so many. It was in the 24 to 25 annual catalog. However, it's carrying over. And with this project, 6x6 paper works great. And if you have small scraps as well. So what I wanted to do is show you how to cut your holder so you can get 2 holders out of 1 sheet of cardstock. And then I'll show you how to cut the designer paper. Let me just show you what I made first. I made them 2 different ways. So let me just get them out of the packets here. They fit perfectly in our Stampin' Up! Clear envelopes, which is great. I've got a bunch of those in my stash. This is what I put on the back side, on my label. I didn't have a logo like until like maybe a year and a half ago, maybe 2. So normally I would have my logo there, but these are just extra labels that I had. So I always put my name, my website, my email address, which this one's my older one, and then special orders available, just because you never know when you're going to get that humongous bulk order of these. So you never know. It's happened to me before where I got a huge order of the legal pad holders, junior legal pad holders. I think I had like 25 to make or something like that. So you just never know when you're going to get that huge order. So this is what I have left of the Full of Life. Oh wait, I was showing you this. So there's a number of ways you can actually sell these. I'm going to try selling them with a holder and 2 refillables. Okay, because they come 3 in a pack, and you can tear one out and then have 2 left over. So I'm going to try to do it that way. You can do it with 1, 2, or 3 of them stacked up and not torn apart, but you would have to adjust the measurements that I'm giving you today. So this one is just based on one of these little ones. I had a bunch of loose ones, so that's why I went with one. One's easier than trying to figure out other dimensions. So let me just get these over here out of the way. So we'll just take a look at it. I want your opinion because it's very helpful for me. I did not want to put anything on the front. I just want to use our designer paper. I want a big pop of color because bright colors attract customers in. And normally I would make up probably 24 of these, and I would put all different kinds of designer paper. All of our designer paper would look great on this. So I went with the brightest I had, which is the Full of Life. And I wanted to show that this is a sun ray. So I did use Velcro, and then we open it up here, and then this is where I put "You are a ray of sunshine," and you could actually write a note to someone as if you're gifting this. And then this does slide out, excuse me. And then this is where I put the angel policy, because we need to do that when we're selling our products that we make with Stampin' Up! Products. And then your next refill would just go in very carefully and slide down in, so your customer or your person you're gifting this to would have 2 more of these. Now this one was my prototype. I didn't put any designer paper on the back side, but truly I do like it on the back side. This is my one that I tested my measurements with. And I'll just open this one up very carefully. This one uses Berry Burst as the card, like the base color. This is Granny Apple Green. And then here's that. So it's basically the same thing. It slides up and down. Got my angel policy there stamped on with Granny Apple Green. But I did put designer paper on the back side, and I think I really like that. Much better than just leaving it blank. Now you could take other scraps and decorate, like you could put something underneath this one here. You could put it here. You could put it everywhere. But don't forget, that's gonna raise the price of your product. So with something like this, I like to keep it on a lower volume of pricing. I don't know what my pricing would be right now, just because I came up with this like literally 45 minutes ago. So we're going to get started. Again, I have all my measurements here. I'll tell you what they are because I know this is probably very hard for you to read. I'm going to type this back up, you know, at some point. And if you would like me to offer this as a crafting kit, I would be ecstatic if you would. So let me know in the comments if this is something you might like as a crafting kit. I love to make crafting kits, by the way. All right, you'll need a lot of space. So let me just grab everything out of the way here. I'm taking my Stampin' Up! Trimmer. I love it because it's got a scoring blade, which is the light gray one, and a cutting blade. So that's helpful to have it all on the same one. Now, I just noticed I've got some leftover paper in that track. So I'm just going to take my take your pick tool and get that out of there. Or I could just actually shake it out. Oh, it's a really small piece though. I don't want that to distract or make my cutting on my paper horrible. So there we go. It was just like a very thin piece. I was probably from my prototype trying to figure out the sizes here. Okay, so you can make 2 holders with 1 sheet of 8.5 by 11. I'm using shaded spruce, and the holder itself, let me actually take one out. I'll take this one out so you can kind of see it without. Okay, so we've got some score lines here, and this is where our little holder is for the little writing tablet and our Velcro. So you're going to cut it. First, we're going to actually score. So then we don't have to score 2 times. So we want the 8.5 by 11 at the very top here. And I am going to extend out the arm because we need to use the measurements past the 6 inch. I'm going to slide over my die cutting machine here. It's in the way. Okay, so I don't know why it's so shady in here. This is like crazy. I never had this issue at nighttime, but I don't know. Okay, so 8.5 by 11 shaded spruce. And now I'm going to score it 4 different locations. So we're going to slide it over to the 3-inch mark here. And I'm using the light gray blade because we don't want to cut our paper. We're just going to score it. So that's at 3. And you really want to push down because you want your score line as deep as you can. And then this one, I'm going to have to probably, I have my glasses on this morning, so it's a little bit harder to read this. So you're going to go 3 3/16. So that's just 3 tick marks. So 1, 2, 3, and then score it. So 3 and then 3 3/16. Then we're going to slide it all the way over to 6 3/4, which is easy on our trimmer here. Oh wait, that doesn't make any sense. I got my paper wrong, you guys. Oh my God, I'm already screwing up. Hold on just a second. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. I think I did. Hold on. Yeah, that was wrong. Let me think. Oh my gosh, now I'm like losing it here. Yeah, we want it this way. I was right. I don't know what I was thinking because our score lines are going down this way. Oh boy. I think I need another cup of coffee. All right, so let's start that over again. So 3 and then 3 3/16 and then 6 3/4 way over there. No, that's still not right. What the heck? Oh, yes, it is. Actually, I was thinking of something I tried earlier. I tried to actually make it so it was a book, and it wasn't really working too well. So that's why I made this little flap. So my brain was thinking the little book instead of the flap. Oh my goodness. All right, so 6 3/4. Thank goodness today's class at the Independent Living Facility is an easy one because I don't know how I would do. All right, 6 3/4 and then 6 15/16. So that is the last tick mark before the 7-inch line. And then we score it here. Again, I like to score it deep so it's easier to fold. So here are the 2 the two areas that we have scored. Okay, I don't know if you can see that too well. It's very shiny here. Then I'm going to rotate this and I'm going to cut this at 5 1/8. So 5 and then 2 tick marks. 5 1/8. And then we're going to, I like to turn my paper because I have one cut edge here, but I'm going to save this non-cutting edge by rotating it. And we're going to cut this at 5 1/8. So it's going to leave us a small strip, which we're going to use. We're going to use this on one of these. So when you make another one, you'll have to have another piece of shaded spruce to get uses of 2 if you're going to make a refillable one. If you're not, then you're just going to bypass the little thing here and just stick your writing tablet inside. All right, so I'm not going to use this one. I'm just going to focus on one of them today. All right, I think that is what I need for the cardstock. Now, the designer paper, I'm going to cut later because I think it'll be easier for my brain to think it that way, and that's what I did before. All right, when I make my little writing tablets, I like to use a corner rounder because sometimes when you're carrying stuff in your craft fair, it's going to get bent. The corners get bent, believe me. I've had it happen a number of times. So now I use my corner rounder. You can use whatever one you have. Stampin' Up! Doesn't have a corner rounder, so I've got my very old but loved Project Life corner rounder. And this was from Stampin' Up! A long time ago. All right, so we've got that done. And now we're going to fold and burnish these 4 score lines really deep. So I'm going to just kind of work it with my fingers first. And then I'm going to take my bone folder and just press it down really hard. And then I'm going to just move on to, I'm going to zoom in so you can see better. So then I'm going to pinch it and slide my fingers down to kind of pre-burnish it. Oh gosh, that's really too far. And then I'm going to take my bone folder again and just burnish it pretty hard. And then we're going to move on to this one. Again, form it with your fingers first, and then your bone folder, and then the last score line, and really press down. Now, if you can go over and turn it the other way to get a little bit crisper scored line. I did that on my prototype, and I think it worked a little bit better. But I don't know as if it's necessary, but I found it to be easier. It just takes a little bit more time. Okay, so we're done with that. So now this is our holder. Our next step is to take one of the, I'm going to use, let me see, I've got a bunch of colors here. You never know what color you're going to get at the Dollar Tree. So I don't know if these colors are still active or not, but I've had them in my closet forever. And my goal is to clean out my closet this year of craft fair stuff. So in order to actually decide on what color those are, I want to decide on what design I want to use for this one with shaded spruce. And I really liked this kind of sunburst theme here. So this actually is the back side of, oh, this one. No, wait a minute. Where is it? It's underneath. Oh, the other one. Okay. So this here was from this one. Okay. So I can use this one again. All I did was cut this in half. So let me just find one for you. So here's that. This is kind of what it looks like. And I just cut it in half. So it's 3 by 6. Let me work with this one. And again, I've got a ton of scraps, so I'm going to try to use up some of the scraps if I can. If not, then these make really good, if you make mini note cards, you can cut your designer paper 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 and get a lot of the little mini note cards out, cut out from that. All right, I'm going to grab my paper trimmer once again. Actually, no. I'm screwing up with you. I'm just doing whatever. Okay, so I know that this is the color scheme I'm going with, right? So then I'm just going to bring in which color is going to look the best. And I'm going to go with this one here. It's got a little bit of bluish green in it, and I think it'll be okay with a shaded spruce. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So I'm just going to take these and open up the package. I'm going to throw this away, and then we're going to open this up, and we're going to tear this really carefully. Or I just thought of something. Let me grab my paper snips, which are right. No, I think I have them on my other desk. I like the paper snips because they can get so close. You could probably, you can either tear it or start tearing it and then just go downward on with your paper snips. Oh no, that's not going to work. So forget that. Okay. So I've torn that off, and that's the one that's going to go in there. And then I like for the customer to have these all ready to go. So I'm going to split these in half. So you could put both of these in, or you can go over to your stash of single ones if you have these and, you know, hanging around. And I would just take one of these, and maybe you can mix and match colors. I'm going to grab that purple one. Or the yellow, this orangey color. Let's see. I'm going with the purple. So this is a way to use up single ones if you've got some odd colors. Now these look a little bit thicker than these. Oh boy, this could be like throwing me off now because my score lines might not be right. Well, we'll find out, won't we? All right, so we've got this. And now, remember this little scrap here? Even though it's got the score lines in it, I don't really care. We're going to use this as the little writing tablet holder. So I just added it here. Oh, this cardboard even looks different. No, that would be the same. See that? So this might be a new style, and I just didn't realize that. So I'm hoping that this actually works for you guys. It's Wing It Wednesday today, so we never know what we're going to get. All right, I don't want to wedge this all the way to the top. I want to leave about 1/4 of an inch or so. Just make it a little bit loose. You don't want to jam it up there because then it's going to be hard to get in and out. All right, so I've got that, and I'm just going to bend that over. You can use your bone folder, and then we're going to match this up here. Try to get it straight, and I just use my bone folder again. With this, I normally use tear and tape, but I'm trying liquid glue for the first time. Now my sample, the prototype and the other one worked fine. It's not coming apart, so we're going to try some of the liquid glue, even though I fight with it all the time. I hate getting sticky fingers. And this is a brand new bottle, so it's going to come out fast. All right, so I got the glue there. And then again, I'm matching up the edges. And I'm going to just press this down for just to hold it in place. See, I've already got glue on my fingers. I hate that. Okay, I just didn't want that stuck to the writing tablet. So now this will go freely. I could have gotten it a little bit looser, I think, but we'll just go with it for right now. The next step is I'm going to take my glue and I'm just going to add some to the back strip. And then we'll take this, make sure your smaller side is on your right side. And then you're going to center this in between well, not center it. You're going to put this right side right on that score line. And this is where I hope those score lines, yeah, they're actually, it's not too bad on this side. It's just maybe off by, I wouldn't even worry about it. Less than a 1/16 of an inch, basically. And then that's wrapping around. So on these newer ones, actually, we might have to adjust that slightly by a 1/16 of an inch. But I'm going to grab my bone folder and I'm going to press this really hard and then kind of bring my bone folder over so that score line will be okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm not going to go reinvent the wheel, honestly, with my lines here, because that works fine. And I've got a variety of different of those too. So there is your little jacket, okay? It will slide. Oh, I got some glue there. It does slide up and down. So you can add in, when this one is all done, you have 2 more that you can add in there. So I've got a little glue there. So I'm just going to wipe that off. Okay, so I'm going to next, since I've got this in front of me, we need to add that angel policy. So I'm using Shaded Spruce ink here. I like to go tone on tone if I can, or if it's a white base, then whatever the most popular color is. I've got a very old angel policy stamp. I love it because it says handcrafted from the heart, and it has that little heart on it, and it also has the Stampin' Up! Copyright logo there. So now I'm covered by the angel policy. Again, you need to use that when you are selling these, like at a craft fair or whatever. I just got Shaded Spruce ink on me. All right, so that is the inside. Let's put this back on. And go gently and slide it in place, okay? All right, so now we're gonna cut our designer paper. And we're gonna work with this one here. So let me grab my trimmer again. Since I want this in the center, okay, of the front of the holder, it's going to be 4 7/8 inches. So what I did was let me think. I cut, I'm thinking, just bear with me. I want the greener side here. Okay, I remember now. I cut this in half. That's what I did. So first I cut this in half. Now on a different pattern, like, I don't know, if you were using something like this, you don't have to worry about it. But I want this starburst here. So I'm going to cut this paper 3 by 6. That one I'm going to set aside for another one. This one would look really good. Actually, this might have been the one that's from here. That would look really good. You can actually have your starburst going that way too. I just had it going that way. So that one here can be used for another one, maybe the second one that you're using. Now I'm going to rotate this, and I know I need to have it 4 7/8 of an inch. And I'm also going to cut off that little bit of white there. Let me just, about a 1/16 of an inch. That way I don't have any more of the white there. So now I'm going to rotate my paper, and I want it to be 1 1/4 of an inch. and save that. You never know what you can use it for. And then determine which direction you want your starburst to go, because you're going to have to round your corners. So if you want it to go this way, you always have to remember that that starburst is going that way. So now this is 6 inches. I want to get it down to 4 7/8. So right now I'm going to take a 1/2 inch off of both sides. This is what works best for me. You might be able to do it differently. So it's 5 inches. Now I'm going to take a 1/16 of an inch off both sides. So it's at 5. So I'm going to drop down to that first tick mark after or before the 5 and just trim a little bit off. And then I'm going to rotate that, and I'm going to cut this now at 4 7/8. So that way that starburst is in the center. And this is why I got that little paper in there, the track in the beginning. Set this aside. Actually, let's corner round it because I'm thinking about it. And I have to figure out which direction I want that starburst to go, because only one side gets the rounded corners. So let's make it go this way. It'll be something different than the other two. And then I'm going to corner round these. And if you want, you could actually add this on right now. Let's do that because that way we won't lose it. Now, if I was mass producing these, I would do every step. Oops, this way. I would do each step and then move on to the next step. So that gets put on there really nice. It's got a nice little border around of the shaded spruce. Okay, if you wanted to leave it like this, I guess you could. You know, it would cost you less, but then you could actually probably sell it for the same price. Now this one here, that needs to be 2 3/4 by 4 7/8. So what I did was I went to my scraps to see if I had something that would work that coordinates with this. And what's nice about Stampin' Up! Products is lots of color coordination. I'm going to save that one because I like the starburst patterns. So now I'm just going to work with it. I'm going to just check. I'll probably ultimately use that one because I like it. But let's see if I have 2 patterns. Let's see what else I have. That one would work. That I'm going to save because it's a starburst. That one would work. This would not because it's just got too much pink in it. So you just kind of go around and just kind of flip it over and see there. I'm going to save that one. Save that one. You need it to be 3 3/4. So I know these won't work. So, and they're a little bit bigger. Wait a minute. No, we need it 2 3/4. So now I'm just going to add this and figure out which one is going to look the best before I do any cutting. So far, this one is winning. And then I would have it this way. I think I'm going to use this one on the front, and then this one can be on the back side. Although it should be really, it should be a little bit bigger, but if you want to get away with it, you probably could do that. So now I'm going to cut this down to 2 3/4. Doesn't matter what side. And now I'm going to rotate it because I want to get rid of some of that blue because I want some of the green and the yellowish orange. And then I'm going to cut this at 4 7/8. Okay. Then we can add this on. And I'm going to corner round these. And then we'll grab our glue. and add it. So I think to that could be like the sky, I guess. We certainly do not have a blue sky here. It's going to be another week of cloudiness, raininess, 40s and 50s, and I'm about done with it. The only good thing about that is there's no bugs. So the bugs this time of year in Vermont are awful. All right, so there we go. Now, to keep this shut, I'm going to add my Velcro. So I don't know what size these are. They're probably like a 1/2 of an inch. A little bit, 5/8 of an inch. So these are such a mess, and I got to find some time to just add these and put them together. So let me just find the rough side and then the softer side. And I'm going to squish those together. And then I'm just going to cut these off. This will be something good for my helper. She can do that. I don't know if she's watching or not. I haven't really looked at comments because I need to stay focused here. So you can either put the Velcro on this side or you can put it on over here. It doesn't really matter. So if you do this side, you have to remember, do not put it down here because it's going to hit this writing tablet. So for the safety, I would probably put it on this one right here. So I'm going to just peel off one side. Doesn't really matter which one. And just eyeball that it's in the center. I like to leave a little bit of room here on the right side. And I'm going to just squish that down as hard as I can. And then I'll pull that off. And then very carefully, I want to make sure this is all lined up. And, ooh, I just barely made it. That was a little bit too far to the left. So there is this one. And the first time you want to pull it off really slow. I should have put this down a little bit closer to the edge because honestly, look, it's very close to the edge. So we're just going to put this over there. Okay. Now we can flip around and work on the back side. So this needs to be 3 1/4 inches, I believe. Yeah, so it's 3 1/2 inches. So if we drop it down to 3 1/4, we need to find a piece that's 3 1/4. So I split a lot of these in half. So with that said, would a 3 look horrible? Maybe. Or you can just be frugal with your supplies and just cut it down. All right, so I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm not really good with math right now. So I'm going to first cut this down to 4 7/8. I think it's going to be 4 7/8. So I'm going to just keep dropping it down. 4 7/8, 4 3/4. And I think it needs to be 4 5/8. So it all kind of has the same border all the way around. So 4 5/8. Yeah, that looks okay. I think that looks fine to be frugal with your paper. Or what you would have to do is just cut another piece from the 6 by 6. Honestly, I don't know if you would want to do that. So I'm going to flip that over. That's what that side would look like. And then let me go this way. So we're looking at it in the front and we flip it over. That's the back side. So we'll just add some glue here. And then add this to the back. And now all we have left, I believe, is the stamping the arch and adding it to the inside. Now, you don't even really have to do that if you don't want to. I thought it would be really nice to have something on here on the inside. Again, you could put designer paper here. You just have to cut 2 of them. And then you could put it here as well. You could use all these scraps. That's another way, actually, you can use these scraps because these you can just cut down. So maybe that's what I would do with my scraps, just to use them up, decorate the inside. But not this time, because I've already done that. So I am going to take my paper out. This is basic white, and I was able to cut 2 of these at the same time. So I just stacked my basic white on top of each other. I ran it through my die cutting machine up and back, and it came out very nice on both of them. So to save some money or some time, because time is money actually, you can do that and it looks great. We're going to stamp in shaded spruce again. And we are using photopolymer stamps. So I'm going to bring in my piercing mat here. And here's my arch. We'll use shaded spruce because that's the color of the holder itself. And we'll ink this up. And I'm going to have to put this really close to me because it's so close, but it fits perfect. Awesome. I got that really nice. I love all the fonts in this. It's just very playful kind of font. We're going to close this up. And then we're just going to adhere this to the inside and we'll be all done. If you wanted to jazz it up, you could, I guess, add some embellishments, some sparkly embellishments, but don't forget that's going to increase your price to make this. So you might want to just keep it as simple as you can, or you're going to have to charge more because those little embellishments cost you money. Right, so we got that. We'll close this up and squish that down. Okay, so if I was to add sparklies, I don't know if I would. If I had maybe floral pattern, you could do that maybe with some like flat or like basic rhinestones. Those are our cheapest embellishments unless we have some on the last chance list. A lot of times you can find some really inexpensive Stampin' Up! Products on the last chance list. It used to be called the clearance rack. Oh, I got some glue there. Let me grab my, let me find my eraser because I want to package these for you so you can just see. I'm just going to erase this off. All right, and now let me grab one of my clear envelopes. And I've already got the label on there. So again, it's got my name, my website, my email address, and custom orders available. I've already, used this for something else. So now I'm going to grab, again, whatever colors. I had them picked out, but now I kind of lost them. Let's grab blue and that one. And then I would put these so you can see both colors. All right, don't put that ugly side and you're showing it on the back side. Let's on, and I'll show you what I mean in just a second. So I'm gonna slide these in. Normally that little flap would have the little adhesive strip on it, but I'm reusing a bag. Again, just double check, make sure it's all good. And we'll get that on there and slide this in. If you wanted to put a little pen in here, you could. The little mini gel pens, it's totally up to you. I don't have a slot for it, so it would be just a loose pen. And then I'm going to fold this flap over. It's perfect. I love it when the cello bag works. And the Stampin' Up! Cello bag works. Or the envelope. It's a clear envelope is what it's called. And there you have it. Okay, so that's that one. We can see the blue paper on that side. We can actually see what color your two are. So pricing it, I don't really know yet because I haven't put my pen to paper, but already I know it's $1.25 just because I'm using 3 of the writing tablets and that's what they cost. And then it's just factoring in the half a sheet of the cardstock and probably like a full sheet of the DSP, a little bit of adhesive, some white paper, and then call it good. So don't forget to add some labor to your product because you're worth something. All right, I'm going to look at any of the comments that might be there. Any questions? I will have a pre-recorded video, so it's not a live, and I will get through all of these, and I have quite a bit more, I think. I might go buy some more because I'll be near a Dollar Tree today, I think. And I'll have them all done up in different varieties of designer paper. We have that really good Country Woods, which is a wood grain. So that would look great for masculine, even women. I love oak. I love the grains of oak. And maybe just scraps that I have. All right. We all have scraps, and this is a great scrap project. And I most definitely would add your designer paper on the back side, because when you package it, you're going to see, well, you won't see it, but I just think it looks better. Plus you're using up a scrap piece. So let me just see if there's any questions, comments, whatever. Do you want it as a crafting kit? I would be happy to offer it as a crafting kit. Once I get through all this, it takes a little bit of time to set that up, but I would be happy to do that for you. I would probably include, I don't know how many I would include. Probably, I don't know, I'd have to think about it and put it all down, pen and paper, and then figure that out. Okay, let's check and see. Boy, I got a lot of comments to see, and I've got to scroll up here and turn my glasses a little bit. I just got these, they put new lenses in these glasses, and it's the first day I've got them because they didn't use my prescription correctly, and I wasn't able to see with them before, and I still can't see. So I have to tip them up. So we've got Jennifer. Good morning. It's dark and rainy here in Delaware. Thanks for watching all the way from Delaware. Chilly, damp, and gray in Maine. Hey, Susan, I'll see you tomorrow on Zoom. Great size for purse. Exactly. Yep. Refillable feature. Love that. Hello, Tracy. Hey Deb, I got a project for you, those Velcros. Hey Carla, anyone here attending tomorrow evening? Unfortunately, no, Susan. Well, perhaps my team members would be showing up on Zoom. The other lady that purchased the heirlooms is not available. She doesn't do Zoom, and that's okay. Well, she'll watch the recording. No, we don't have sun here in Vermont. It's cool and dark again. Yep, exactly. Oh, I'm here. Looks like a fun project. Yeah, hi, Carla. Yes, apparently I actually like the plain back. Oh, you like the plain back. So then you can actually make a little bit more money. And you could, if you had your personalized stamp with all your information on it, you could just stamp that on the back side and forget about the label. Oh, the arch stamp set is on my wish list. I don't even know if it's in stock. It's been so popular. Same with the dies. I didn't actually look. I know the paper, the full life paper is in stock. Oh yeah, I don't think it needs any bling. Exactly. I would use bling maybe on floral, but I would keep it very, very simple. No large embellishments like the drusies that I used on Monday. Those would be way too overbearing. It has to be something really, really tiny that you know will stay stuck on the paper. All right, it doesn't look like I have any other questions, or no one mentioned they wanted this as a crafting kit, but I'm still going to put it out as a crafting kit and we'll see. That will be going to my email subscribers. So if you're not an email subscriber, you can very easily do that. I don't spam. You can ask anybody watching. I don't send emails every single day. I might say like yesterday I sent 2 just because I had my card club expiring and last day to register, and then I had another tutorial that I did from Monday, but a lot of times I skip a day, so I'm not sending out anything today, so I don't spam. But anyway, I will definitely do this as a crafting kit. We'll see how it goes. And I'm gonna get ready to go to my, what time is it? 10:55. Oh gosh, I gotta go jump in the shower and get ready. I can't go looking like this. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. And again, I'll put up together a pre-recorded video, and I hope to get to it this weekend. It's a long weekend here because of Memorial Day. And I'll have a little bit more options for you as well. And I might go out and purchase some more of those writing tablets. And I will put together a pricing that I would charge for at a craft fair. Another thing I thought, just quickly, if you wanted to decorate this a little bit more, you could take some ribbon, I was thinking. This is shaded spruce. Let me see. Yeah, this is a retired shaded spruce, and I think this is actually on the last chance. It used to be. I don't know if it still is. You could very easily just tie a ribbon here. No, this would look really good, you guys. Don't forget about packaging, because packaging sells. You have to keep this in your pricing, because this ribbon was not free. And if you tie a nice little bow here, which I know I won't be able to do, but let's see what this looks like with a, oh, come on, it's very thick ribbon. Sneak that in there and pull that release. I gotta fancy it up, but I think actually adding a nice little ribbon there, it helps your packaging. Come on. I'd have to make that bow a little bit bigger because these tails are basically 1/2 inch and we don't want that. Anyway, I think that's going to look better for packaging, and I would include that in the price. Okay, and they could actually use this ribbon for something else, I guess. All right, I'm going to slide that off, and I've got to get to my class. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.